Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a tier list right before ARK Ascended comes out for the island, because that's the one that's going to be releasing on launch. I figured, why not? You know, I mean, a lot of creatures, they're all tameable, the ones on this list. So I figured I should see what my thoughts are, because I've never done this before, and I don't even have a script or anything written down, so literally just winging it. Alright guys, so this list is going to be like how useful these creatures are to their specific category. So I guess, for example, you know, how good is the parasaur? You know, because I can't base a parasaur off how strong it is. You know what I mean? Like, versing almost everything is going to lose. So I gotta, you know, how useful it is in a situation for PvE, PvP. That's kind of how I'm gonna do it. It is mostly gonna be PvE based, but there will be, you know, like, okay, this creature is way better PvP. It's more so PvP, but it's terrible at PvE, for example. So I have to like balance it a little bit. But the PvE is gonna matter more than the PvP, so just keep that in mind. But let's get on with this. So, Arthropleura, obviously a PvP dino. If you don't know, we can literally break tech. So I guess for PvP, S tier. You know, it can also break armor, all that with the spit. But for PvE, I mean, it's slow. You have to like move it everywhere. Yeah, for PvE, you have to move it everywhere. It's not really. I mean, just because it's so strong in PvP. You know, for raiding and stuff. I guess for breaking. I guess I'll put it in A. Balance it. Alright, okay, so Basilo. I mean, I think B tier's a fine answer for. I mean, it's slow, right? It's slower than most underwater creatures, or about the same speed as most underwater creatures. Its main thing is it can't be stunned by any, you know, by eels or jellyfish. And yeah, it's strong, it's tanky. I think B is a solid place for it, if not like low A. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna put it for now. Anki, S tier. I mean, if you don't think it's an S tier, I don't know. I mean, it farms you so much metal, so much everything, really. Just the metal weight reduction is insane. It can be picked up by anything other than a PT, obviously. So it makes it so useful. Allosaurus, debating putting it between A and S, because they're really strong. I mean, I think bottom S is deserving, because I mean, I just did a challenge run where I used these guys, and they were level 1s, and I was still able to, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, they were level 1s, and I was still able to do pretty well with them, so, go watch that video if you haven't. Definitely gonna make more than ARK Ascended, but, I think at bottom S tier is good, so yeah. Anglerfish, so I've never actually used them, right? But I know what they do, or at least I think I know what they do. I know they collect silica. I'm pretty sure. Either they collect it, or I think they collect it. I am gonna put, even though I never used it, I'm gonna put all collecting dinos that like sell, you know, like either drop shit, like I don't know, like make shit in their inventories in D tier, just because most of the time that's all they're good for. If there's other ones like ones that are good for other things, then fine, you know, I'll see. But I think just regular collecting dinos or producing dinos, I'm just gonna put in D. Never used these guys. I don't remember their names. Never actually tamed them, but I do know they give you the shit to make those darts. I forget what they're called. But yeah, Beelzebufu. That's how you say it. Mr. Froggy. I mean, it's good for farming, like, you know, cementing paste, chitin, all that, because, you know, gives you cementing paste from bugs already crafted. Pretty cool. It's, you know, it can knock out shit. It's relatively strong. It's good. It's decent for early in PvP. I mean, as long as you don't get bolaed, but you can move pretty quickly around, so it's very hard to bola it. And it's a decent swimmer. I think I'm gonna give it B just because it has a lot of uses. You know, it does get destroyed by bolas if you get bolaed by it, you know what I mean? It's not the tankiest, it doesn't have the most weight, but it's not that bad. I think B is fine, if not high C, but low B. Bronto, I guess an A, right? I think that's deserve. I mean, back in beta or early ARK, they were really insane. They were like broken, I think is what it was. And then obviously they got changed and nerfed, but I think A is deserving. I mean, they farm hella berries, you know what I mean? It's just like no one really gets them until like later in the game, I guess. But they're strong, they're tanky. I think A is appropriate for them. It's, you know, another producer right there, pretty cementing pace. Baryonyx, right? So it has its stun. It's a swimmer. It can go on, you know, and land. It's a very fast runner. It can't be bullied. I don't think it can be picked by anything or by RGs in PTs. I'm not sure about the other stuff. So it's a pretty damn strong creature, especially in ARK Survival Ascended, where it's, you know, movement speed nerf. You're not gonna be able to outrun this thing, or definitely outswim it. So I think it's an A tier creature for sure. It's pretty underrated. Carb, I've never actually tamed one, because who the hell tames a carb unless you're just doing it for the troll, you know? I mean, they're probably decent swimmers. I don't even know how fast they are. I mean, when they're wild, they're pretty slow, but I don't know. I mean, never used, you know. I mean, I know they're good for tanking, you know, but other than that, I don't know. Karchar, Carcharodontosaurus. Yeah, I mean, it's an S tier creature, you know, probably the highest. I mean, I'm not basing it off, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 right now at least, but definitely S tier for sure. Carno, sorry, I had to like zoom in a little bit my screen to see this. Okay, Carno. Now, did we find the Carno better than a Baryonyx? I don't think so. I mean, the Carno's strong, right? It has its bleed hit, or what was it, broken leg hit? It's not bleed, or was it a bleed? I can't remember. I know it like breaks your leg when it headbutts you, but I don't know. I mean, it can't go in the water. It's fast on land. I think if it's A tier 2, definitely below the Baryonyx, but I'll put it in high B for now. Castoratus, so, you know, they can be picked by RGs and stuff, making them, you know, easy to go around and farm wood with. You know, they're easy tames. They're really good at farming woods. They can farm berries. Honestly, another S tier, maybe A tier. Yeah, I'll do A tier. Gatherer, because it definitely is better for wood, you know, I guess, but it's up there for sure. Chalcatherium. Now, I've tamed these a couple of times. You know, they could throw rocks at you. I don't remember if they could actually throw shit at you when they're tamed. I don't actually remember, to be honest. But I'll put them in B just for the sake of it, because I really don't remember much. I mean, you could just throw stones and shit. They're not that fast. They're not fast in water at all, so it's like, eh. Compy. I don't even know if you could tame a Compy, but I apparently you can, because it's on this list. Maybe it's wrong, but I've never tamed them, and honestly, even if I did, I think they're gonna be F tier, even though it's not actually here. So, like, I feel like they're useless. I don't think there's anything good about them. Oh yeah, Daedon. So, I guess, you know, to heal your dinos in boss fights, you know, people do that, right? But they do eat a lot of food, so it's kind of annoying to get all prepped up. But I guess upgrading their food and shit, putting on passive, they're passive heal. They're tanky, they're strong. I think B tier is appropriate for them. Maybe A, but I think that's for now. Mr. Spider, never tamed them, and even I'm pretty sure all they can do is shoot webs at people and just slow them. So it's like, even if I did, I'm pretty sure I'd just put them in D. So yeah, Dillo, if there was an F tier, I'd put them in F, because the only thing they can really do is shoot spit. That, I think, you know, just blinds people and slows them. I mean, I guess that could be useful in a situation, but like, it's very, very situational, you know. Dimetrodon. Now, I'm trying to remember what this does. I've never actually tamed one. But I know they do something. I think you can ride them. I can't actually remember. I'm trying to remember if this was the one that gives oxygen, or is it the Liopleurodon? I think that's what this is called. I can't remember if one of them that give the oxygen to the player, like you can get off and take oxygen from it. That's pretty helpful. I think it was a Liopleurodon. Dimetrodon I've never actually tamed. I don't know what they do. I could just look it up. I'm just going off my ARK memory here. But this is pretty helpful. It's a really underrated early game water dino, because they're fast, you know, in water. Well, relatively fast. They're easy to tame. And yeah, you can take oxygen off them. So I feel like getting like an underwater base is really easy with these guys. just because you can get to the spot so quickly, and you don't have to worry about oxygen. You know what I mean? So I think for that, I'll put him in B. This is a Dimension-on, right? Yeah, Dimension-on. So I think it's going to be our first C tier candidate here. I mean, some of you might say D tier, some of you might say B tier, but I think C tier is appropriate for him. Just because if you have, you know, a group of them, I've done some damage with, you know, 3 or 4 of them. Or sorry, Dimorphodons. Dimorphodons. So I think C tier is appropriate. All right, Diplo. I've never actually tamed them. I know you can hold, what was it, 16 people, 12 people, whatever, this big ass saddle and do some crazy shit. But I'd still put them like D if I did tame them, you know. Dire Bear. So this is a controversial one. I don't know. I've seen, you know, a lot of people say they're really good. You know, they get faster and faster the more they're around, like the woolly rhino, right? They're really strong. I think either high B or low A is appropriate, but I'll put them in high B for now. Dire Wolf. All right, so I guess because this also determines on the pack, right? If you have more than one, because you can get pack boosted and it gets stronger. They don't have saddle buffs or the saddle armor bonus, so that's annoying. It's pretty bad about them. But you know, it is a nice creature if you somehow get it early on. Scorched Earth, for example, I spawned it one time, tamed a Dire Wolf. It was huge. You know, they're really strong. You don't need to, you bullet them easy. So I guess I don't know. I'm debating between high C, low B. I'm gonna keep him in C for now just to fill that row up. Dodo, right? So Dodo's really just a egg collector, right? I mean, everybody's using them for that. That's like, and they're just taming their first creature. So D is appropriate for that. Doedicurus. Okay. Okay. So right. Not sure to put them in B. I'm gonna put them in B with the Castoridas because I mean they're really helpful for eating stone. But I don't know. Maybe you guys think it's stupid. I think A is fine for them for him, honestly. Argentavis. This is not a flyer tier list, right? So so they're really, the only thing that really are bad about Argentavis are they're really slow. Everything else about them, you know, they have the health regen, they have hella good health, they have good stam, they have good weight, they have good melee. So everything else about them is good. I mean, I don't know if I should put them high A or S. I'll put them in S just for the sake, because I mean they really are extremely helpful. Dung Beetle, another one of producers right here. Dunklo. I've tamed a couple of them before. So if I'm correct, they can break through tech, like force field and stuff, because that happened to me once. I don't know if they pad nerfed it or whatever, but they were able to at the time. They're basically underwater Arthropleros. But they're underwater, so not as useful. So I think B tier is appropriate for him because Arthur is A tier because he's able to go everywhere. Equus. I have tamed them, obviously. I'm pretty sure everyone's tamed the Equus at one point. But like really how, I mean, they can knock shit out. I've knocked out a couple things before with them, a couple trikes. I guess C tier is appropriate for the Equus. Eels. I've only tamed one eel one time on a 50x. And I mean, they do what you expect them to do. They do just zap things. So it's like, yeah, I guess they're good. I don't remember if they can zap alphas. That's the thing. I don't remember if they can do that. But I guess if they can, it can probably be even A tier just for the situation of you going hunting some alpha mozos and tusos. You bring them with you and it's like free. I don't know if you actually can though. I don't think you can. I feel like that'd be too easy. So for the sake of that, I'm putting them in C. What the hell is that? Is that a galley? Oh my god, I can't tell what that is. I think that's a galley, right? I'm pretty sure that's a galley. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's a galley. So they're really fast, right? They're weak. They don't have a lot of weight, but they're fast. So C tier. Gigantopithecus. So I love them. I think they're pretty huge. I mean, they're passive tames. They're easy to get. You know, early game they don't need saddle. They're strong. They can farm everything. You know, berries, fiber. I think the B tier is appropriate for them. Giga, S tier. Everybody knows that, right? Hesperornis. So I have tamed them before, but I don't really remember what they can do. I think many people get them for the golden Hesperornis egg, right? If I'm not mistaken, and then they use that to tame Basilisk, I think. If that's the case, they're staying in the collection pile. So, next one is Hyenodon. So, I mean, they're basically just walking troughs, no? I mean, they literally just, like, you can get the meat pack on them. And I think they have pack buff, right? But I've never actually tamed them. I just know what they do. I mean, I feel like that'd be interesting. If you brought Hyenodons, put them on passive in a different ordering group, and then they stick with the Daedons, and they constantly fed them. I don't know how effective that would actually be. I don't think it'd be that effective. So I'm just gonna put them low C, since D is kind of occupied by producers and gatherers, basically. So, Itchy or Dolphin, Ithy, I think it's called Ithy. Well, I mean, other than speed, they're pretty bad, right? I mean, they don't have good weight, they don't have good health. Their stamina's okay if I remember properly. They're just fast, and they're easy. They're not really. They can be a pain in the ass to get off spawn, I feel like. So I guess like we'll put him in B only be. Damn it! It's like, do I put him below? Oh my god, Liberiodon, because like I think I put him in C actually, high C, just because I feel like this is easier, just overall better than the Dolphin. I mean, yeah, it's slower, but everything else, like, you can get them easier. They can go on land and in water. They give you oxygen. Yeah, definitely better to put C for a Dolphin. Alright. I've never tamed these demons, but yeah, so that's all with that. Iguanodon. Now, huge early game tame. As they can, gather berries. They're good for making farms because you could seedling. So you like turn on the berries, the seeds. You can run it forever because they have infinite stamina if you're not using it, other than running. They can infinitely run. They have 2 different attacks, right? He has like 2 different stances, if I'm correct, like a Spino. I think I'll put him in A just because. I don't know. I'll put him high B. I'll put him high B because I think they're pretty decent. I don't know. Capro. Now, last time I tamed them was years ago, and I don't know how slow they are. I remember they were pretty damn slow. I mean, you can grab people, right? But it's like, how accurate can you be, and how situational is that? So I just put him C. Is that Kentro? That's Kentro. So, Kentro. I've never tamed them. I'll be honest with you, I've never tamed the Kentro. Stegos, yes. Kentro, no. I mean, they kind of do the same. No, they just have the, what do you call it, right? They just do damage back to the opponent, or to the attacker, like a percentage. But, yeah, it's never used. So that's basically it. Liberiodon, never tamed them. Very annoying because I found one time, but I never actually ended up taming it. I think they're really rare, right? I mean, I think they're like only 3 in the map or some shit. I'm making that up. I'm not sure if that's actually true. I'm just I think, but I've never actually used them. So basically, these never used, you guys can kind of imagine where we could put them from off my list, because I honestly, some of these I don't know, some of these I kind of know, but like I don't want to, never technically used them. So Lystra, right? So they only give XP buff, so it's like D. You know what I mean? Like, that's really all. Okay, so Mammoth. They're better at gathering wood than a Castorius, right? They can pick people up with their tusks, if you didn't know that. They're strong. They're just slow. They have the buff against, carnivores. They're just slow. So, I think above the Castorius is fair. Maybe S, like bottom S. just because I want to be a little bit more distinctive between the two. Manta, I have tamed the Manta. I mean, they're fast, right? From what I remember, they can jump out of the water, from what I remember. But they're weak, pretty sure, and they don't have a lot of weight, from what I remember. So I think C tier is fine. I don't really know where I put them here. Megalodon. So, I mean, you know, they're average speed underwater creature, right? You can put on a tech armor on that shit. They're strong. They're like basically the Carnos of the ocean. I don't want to say Rexes because definitely not, but I think the Carnos of the ocean is pretty accurate. So I think B tier is where I fit a Megalodon. Megalania. Did I ever tame a Megalania? I don't think so, so I wouldn't know. I have tamed a Megalosaurus. I mean, they're fast. I know they do a decent amount of damage. I don't know. This one's more controversial. I don't know. I think C is fine. I don't think anyone's really gonna be mad about that. There's, you know, or no, Megalosaurus. I'm tripping. Megalosaurus. I think. I mean, they're so strong at night, right? I mean, they can pick up. What was it? They can pick up parasaurs. They can pick up like, what was it? I think Carnos as well. They can pick up some pretty decent stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but I know they can pick up parasaurs or stegos or something like that. So they're pretty good for that. I mean, their only nerf is literally just daytime, right? That's why aberration is so good. But since it's not going to be aberration for a while, or ARK ascended, right? So let's do high B tier. I was gonna put A tier. Actually, screw it, I'll put low A tier. Megatherium, right? So A or S. I mean, they're good for everything, right? I mean, they're easy to tame. They're strong as hell. They're extremely strong against, you know, bugs. They could farm Hello Titan for cementing paste. I mean, it's very valuable for the island, especially just because there's no, you know, beaver dams, because there's only a couple of spawns, and with a bunch of players on it, it's kind of hard to do this. So Megatherium is definitely the way to go for that. Never tamed these guys. Mesopithecus, I think they're called. Little monkey boys. Never tamed them. Mosasaurus. So, yeah, I mean, everybody expected that, right? A tier or S tier. I mean, they're fast. You can put platform saddles. You know, they're strong. You know, that's pretty, you know, self-explanatory. Not sure why he's cool. Okay, what's his freaking name? Goddamn, I'm going blank on this guy's name. Moschops. Thank you. Moschops. So, I mean, it's kind of annoying because sometimes you get unlucky with taming them on spawn. Like, it's like, oh, get raw prime meat, and then, oh, cooked prime meat, and a bunch of random kibble, you know. But, so, sometimes they're annoying. But if you get them tamed, they're decently strong. They could farm a good amount. I think B tier is accurate. Is respectable, right? I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna hate that. So now we got Onyx. I think I tamed them once, but honestly, they're just bats. So it's like, I'll just put them in D tier. I mean, you know. Otter. So I have tamed them. Everybody has, right? But I'm going blank on what they can do exactly. I think it was like you put them on your shoulder. They can count as, you know, grading artifacts for you. They count as a player body. They protect you in heat and the cold, right? Based on their melee damage, I believe. Oviraptor. I've never tamed them. Or maybe I have, I just don't remember. But I don't know what they do when they're tamed. I actually know I have tamed them, but I used it for the eggs. That's what it was. I don't think they had any other usage. Ovis. So never tamed one, actually. I mean, everybody just kills them. Every time I thought about taming, it was like, you need veggie cake. I'm pretty sure was what it was, and I was like, I'm not gonna get it. I think you can literally just turn them into a constant breeding, or not, yeah, breeding, you know, mutton army. So it's like, I mean, that could be pretty helpful, but that would probably just end up going here, in my opinion, just because, you know, it's producing meat. So I guess I'll just put it there, whatever. Paraceratherium. Platform saddle, right? I've seen people take down rock elementals with them, including myself a couple years back. They farm shit, they're strong, they're a little bit faster than Brontos. I think B. Oh shit, where did he go? Oh, right here. B is accurate. Parasaur, everybody's favorite early game tame, right? Or at least that's mine. The amount of times I've tamed a Parasaur. I think just for the... I mean, right, once you get off, you're done with them off spawn, right? You're not really using them anymore. They're still useful because of their turret, you know, because of the the location turret. So it's like, I think they're still A or B tier. I'll put them B, just because you know, I mean, I put the Otter B now too as well. In no particular, it doesn't really matter. I think Parasaur is good there as well. Packy. C tier, right? I mean, yeah, it's like Packy Rhino. It's like, what, better than a trike? So it's like, I'll just put C tier. Doesn't really matter where. Pego. This is literally just a troll dino. You just send people to freaking take their shit, and they end up probably dying. But so it's like bottom C. Rhino. Huge, right? I don't know if I'm overhyping him, but in my opinion, I think it's an S tier creature. I mean, you can destroy any tame with this thing if you use properly. You know, the boss fights too, really huge to use them. So definitely an S tier creature in my opinion. Ranatha S tier, don't even need to explain that. Everybody knows. Sabertooth, C tier, right? Sarko, B tier, in my opinion. It's fast, strong on land and water. Let me rephrase that. It's fast on land and water. It's strong. You know, its stats are solid. You know, I think it's a pretty damn good creature. Spino, A tier, definitely. Stego, B tier. Tapahara. Well, you know, they can clamp on trees to regain stamina. They fly just as fast as PTs, just they don't have the barrel roll. I'm pretty sure. They fly the same speed as PTs. So I think B tier is fine. I think it's a solid choice. These guys are literally just raptors. Like, they're just raptors. I feel like literally the same thing as raptors. They're just more annoying. At least in my opinion. I don't know. I've had some pretty terrible situations with these guys, so it's like I'll just put them C. Therizino, S tier. Thylacoleo, A tier. S. Put them high A tier, even though this doesn't really matter high or low because I'm not really basing it on that much. But just for the sake of you guys, it's definitely up there, either at low or high A. I don't know. They're so good, like they can climb. I'll put them S tier. Screw it, right? Titanosaur. I mean, that's, you know, S tier. Everybody knows that, right? I mean, just to tame them knows the process, but it's not about taming, right? B tier for trike, or right? It was B tier. Screw it, I'm putting it in B tier. Trudon. Now, hear me out on this. S tier, if not high A tier. Let me explain why. So, because of ARK's movement speed nerf on Arcus Cerebral Ascended, right? These guys are gonna absolutely obliterate anybody on the beaches, right? And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, okay, early game shit, whatever. Yeah, but alright, still, you can mess people up with these guys, right? They can't run from you, they can't do shit. I'll give them A tier because I think S is excessive, but I think, in my opinion, these guys are really damn strong now, and they're not even that hard to tame. A team up here. Okay, Tuso, S tier. Everybody knows that, right? I don't even think these guys are on island. At least I've never seen them. Elithopede, I think they're called. I don't even remember. And I never tamed them, so I could just put them there. I don't even think they're on island. I could be wrong. Yudi, S tier. Quetzal. Now, back in the day, they were really good because, I mean, there were only PT and RG, and like, you know, Quetzals, you can movement speed buff, you can turn into a base, you can, they would be so good. So, but now, I don't know, I mean, I'll put them in B tier. But yeah, Pelovia, okay, I'll give him A tier because of the base defense. If you put them in the right spots in your base, you can really mess with a raid. If you position them properly. I mean, if anybody gets close, so you stun them, then they get annihilated by your creatures, your turrets. You know, they can't do shit for 10 seconds. So I think that's a pretty huge creature in that sense. Scorpions, C tier. PT, S tier, right? I mean, okay. You get a high level PT, you dominate. I mean, even late game, right? Like, you could annihilate people with a PT just because its picking is so good. Barrel roll, you know, I mean, yeah, their health is not the best, their weight's not the best, their stam, you know, it takes time to upgrade. But I think it's a S tier, if not A tier, you know, dino for sure. On the island, obviously, you know, on a different tier list, it'd be lower, but I don't know, I think it's a pretty solid creature. It gets you everywhere, right? I mean, and if you upgrade its points properly, it could be anything. Procoptodon. Well, they're fast. They could jump to China. I mean, that's really it. They're not that strong, I don't think, right? I mean, they can put shit in their pouch. I'm thinking they put a player, I think, from what I remember. So I'll put him like B tier. I think it's fine. Plesiosaur. A tier. I mean, this in my opinion is the underwater Rex, a Pleasy. You know, they're strong. They're not, you know, Rexes are not fast, but they're fast. I think these are the underwater Rexes, in my opinion. Phiomia, another gatherer, right? And what the hell is this? Oh, Pegalorinus, right? I'll just put him B. I mean, yeah, you can go on the water, right? Decently fast. It's just a slow flyer. It's weak. I think speed tier is being nice. But I think it's fine in B tier. Alright, well, that's all the dinos on the island that's tameable. Based on how useful they are compared to others in their category, you know, as you can see. If you have any questions or if you think these creatures should be moved around, let me know. I'm open to you guys' opinions. But yeah, I mean, the ones at the bottom never used, I can't really rate them. I mean, I can for some of them. I can put just guess, but I think they're fine there. And then most of these D tier ones are, you know, producers, gatherers, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was just, you know, I know it's a longer one, but I wanted to, you know, share my thoughts on some of these creatures. I didn't want it to be like, okay, one here, one there, you know, because a lot of people would be confused, or maybe, you know, I just want to explain my reasoning. But yeah, this is my last, I think, it's going to be my last post before ARK Survival Ascended. So yeah, I'll see you guys there. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one.